One of the most important parts of giving a presentation is planning what you will say. You want to create an explanation of your project that is clear and easy to follow for your audience. Let's watch Vikram as he tries to explain his project.
So tell me about your project.
So we were looking at eucalyptus trees and their effects on native plants. And here we have eucalyptus and we have oak, and they're like the same height, they're about the same. In our next experiment, we have oak here and eucalyptus here, and the percent survival was about 75% and 75%. And here we have our soil, different soils, and we have eucalyptus, we have potting soil, and we have oak again.
Did you understand what his project was about? Neither did I. Vikram dove right into the details of his project without first telling us why he did his project or what he was trying to test. A great way to plan what you will say during your presentation is by using the hourglass model. Start with the big picture. Explain why doing your project was important and what the motivation was behind asking your research question. Next, you want to clearly state the question your project is addressing. This is very important because it will help your audience better understand your methods and results. Then you want to briefly describe the methods you use to test your question. Don't worry about going into too many details. The audience can always ask you more questions about your methods later. Next, dive right into the major results of your project. Tell everyone what you learned from your study. Finally, conclude your presentation by explaining the broader significance of your project findings. How has your project contributed to the overall understanding of this topic area? You want to keep your poster presentation short. Usually just 1 to 2 minutes is enough. That will give time for your audience to talk to you more and to ask questions about your research. And remember, you don't want to start your presentation by talking about your project methods. It'd be like starting a movie in the middle. Your audience will just be confused. Use the hourglass model to prepare your presentation and you're guaranteed success. Once you know what you are going to say, the next step is to practice how you are going to say it so that your voice is clear and confident. Let's listen as Catherine tries for the first time to present her poster.
So tell me about your project.
My project is called The Effects of Eucalyptus Trees on Native Plants.
Could you hear that? I didn't think so. Catherine was mumbling and talking way too softly for anyone to hear her. When you're giving a presentation, remember to project your voice so that everyone can hear you. Also, try to talk at a normal pace so that you're not talking too fast or too slow. And remember to speak clearly and not mumble. Let's listen as Catherine tries her presentation again.
So tell me about your project.
Our project was about the effects of eucalyptus trees on native plants.
Much better. Sometimes you can be saying nothing and still be speaking volumes with your body language. Being aware of your body language is a very important part of giving a presentation. To send the right message with your body language, start by greeting the judges with a handshake. Stand tall and confident next to your poster. And remember to keep your body facing towards the people you are presenting to, instead of towards your poster. There can be lots of distractions around you while you're giving a poster presentation, but your focus should always remain on the person you're presenting to. Just imagine a situation like this one.
Hey, yeah, I'm in the middle of a conference talking about my poster. Yeah, I'll meet up with you in like 20 minutes. Yeah, we'll go to lunch. Sure.
You wouldn't be too impressed if you were judging Caleb's project right now, would you? We all know that cell phones can be very distracting, so make sure your ringer is turned off before your presentation. Some other common distractions to watch out for are frequently looking at your watch, fiddling with loose change in your pocket, or twirling or fidgeting with your hair. These are all things that can draw your audience's attention away from the poster and your awesome project that you're talking about. Speaking of distractions, let's talk about what you should wear for your presentation. Let's start with an example of what not to do. Yikes! There are a lot of things wrong with what Kim and Duran are wearing, but the main problem is that their clothing is the center of attention rather than their poster. Let's take a look at their outfits. Duran is wearing a large distracting logo on his shirt, and he looks underdressed in shorts and sandals. And while Kim is dressed up, she looks more ready for a night out on the town than a presentation. Here are some guidelines for things you should avoid wearing to a presentation. Let's see Kim and Duran again, this time wearing more professional clothing. Much better, right? Here are some tips for what you should wear to a presentation. You'll want your outfit to be slightly more formal than what you would normally wear. It's a good idea to plan your outfit out ahead of time. That way you have time to try it on and make sure it fits, and you're not left panicking trying to find a clean shirt at the last minute. Have you ever seen someone giving a speech with a lot of confidence? Did you think that they weren't nervous? If so, you're likely mistaken. Most people feel uncomfortable with public speaking, even if they've had a lot of experience. Feeling more confident does not mean eliminating your nervousness. It just means learning how to deal with it. Here are some strategies used by the SCWIBLES Fellows to deal with their nerves when giving a presentation.
When I feel really nervous, I think of something that made me even more nervous. Like when I was in high school, I went bungee jumping, and I just tell myself if I could get up the courage to jump off of a bridge, literally, I can have the courage to speak calmly to these judges.
To keep myself from getting nervous, I try and practice what I'm going to say ahead of time so that I don't have to search for words when I'm standing in front of a judge. I also try and remember that I know more about my project than anybody else does.
So to deal with nerves, I just have to pause and think about what I'm saying. And it's totally fine because the judges want to hear what I have to say anyways. So that's how I deal with it.
When I'm feeling nervous, I remind myself to breathe and make sure I take a bunch of deep breaths.
Most importantly, when you're giving your presentation, don't forget to have fun. You've worked hard and your poster is great, so go out there and enjoy yourself.